Now we're here. Now we're here. Now we're here. All right. All right. It's your boy Jihad El-AMIN, Lunchtime Loving Cool Jihad, here talking about classroom leadership, um, raising and rearing and working with young people, and relationship building, relationship maintenance. All right. Um, a lot of it is anchored in this book, The Four Habits to All Successful Relationships. Um, Actually, wrapping up a part here. Some of the things we talked about, key takeaways was building skill and managing will are keys to being proactive and intentional about developing quality relationships, using the four habits, building your understanding. How does the four habits experience model help explain relationships around you, where relationships are working well and what is making them great, where relationships are struggling that might be missing, taking personal action. Conduct yourself on a relationship audit. So do an audit of your relationships. Um, if there's tension, what does the model suggest that you do? Um, and one of the things that it was talking about that stuck out to me was the little saying was as you interact with others, the key is to notice when things are shifting in a relationship and manage the tension at the boundaries, right? So when you start to notice things, and we all do it, we all know it's like now sometimes we assume in our assumption we notice based off of our assumption, or we notice something and then we assume that's what it is, and then we react to that assumption. And I think noticing something and then going into maintenance mode is different than going into reaction mode. The next chapter that I'm actually, or the next part I'm getting in is be curious, not critical. Um, and I haven't read it yet, right? We just wrapped up that chapter um, that was really focused on that model of isolation, depression, or desperation, mutual satisfaction, and I forgot the other one: isolation, desperation, frustration, and mutual satisfaction, right? And then it was on that skill and will type of graph, and they talked about having high will and high skill, um, and I think the skill come in play when you noticing something and you try to man- manage it at the boundaries, right? Before y'all cross each other's boundaries, you start to try to manage it. And managing it doesn't mean knee jerk react, right? And do what you always did. Manage it mean like tap into your skills. When we talked about uh, reaching out to people and communicating with them, right? Communicating, maybe initiating communication within the strength of their ability to communicate, right? So, i.e., if they a texter or emailer or a note writer, then you may initiate communication through their strength of communication. Not saying that the whole interaction will live in that space of their strength. You may shift it in back and forth between your strength and their strength, right? In order for both people to get their point across, or all parties to get their point across if it's more than one person. Um, Knee jerk reactions will be things that you always did that give you outcomes that you didn't want, that you don't like, that the people you in a relationship don't like. Um, so if kid A do one thing, and your natural reaction is to lose it, right? And when you lose it, do you get the outcome that you want? Or is it a power struggle? Do they argue back with you and then y'all in each other's face and y'all back and forth and back and forth and back and forth? You know what I mean? Then you got their parents want to come up and fight you and all that type of stuff. Um, then that's not the reaction you want. That's not the outcome you want. So then you almost have to do some of the things that we feel like is silly, right? You might have to count in your head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then use a strategy. And one of the strategies that I use, once again, this strategy or this response is not from the four habits. This is more of a me thing, book of E type of thing. But I don't give commands in those moments. I don't make demands or give commands. I ask questions. So if the expectation is that everybody should be in their seat doing the work with pencil and paper, and a kid is up wandering around the room, right? My my first thing is, what should you be doing right now? Not even what are you doing. I see what you're doing. You walking around the room, and that's not the expectation. But what should you be doing right now? And usually their response will be, I'm all I'm doing is, or I'm about to do, and I'm like, okay, but I didn't ask you what are you doing. I'm asking you, what should you be doing? I kind of see what you're doing, but what should you be doing? Um, well, I should be sitting in my seat working. Well, why you up? I need to sharpen my pencil. Ding, ding, ding. Right? That's the favorite one. We're gonna have a lot of sharp pencils and empty bladders, right? Because everybody got to use the bathroom and sharpen the pencil. But say, well, what should you do to get out of your seat? Another question. I'm supposed to raise my hand for permission to leave my seat. It's tried and true. Hundreds of years it's been working that way. So you just up walking around. Have a seat. You know? Now I'm giving you a command because I didn't tell you what you were supposed to do. You knew what you were supposed to do. You knew what the expectations were. I just asked you, right? And you'll be amazed. Most kids will just sit down, right? And they might raise their hand and sharpen a pencil, depending on where we at, what we doing. I may have an extra pencil. I usually have extra sharp, and I'll swap them out. Or I say, let me see that pencil. That pencil can write. Keep writing, bro. Right? Or if it can't, then go sharpen your pencil. Or if I sometimes carry a hand sharpener in my pocket. I give them that, and they sharpen their pencil, and we keep it moving. You do have some who lose it on you, right? Oh, I'm trying to sharpen my pencil. I'm trying to sharpen. 1, 2, 3, calm, right? Hey, like, why you talking loud like that? Like, we here. I can hear you. All I'm trying to do is sharpen my pencils, and y'all teachers is. That's fine. You want to sharpen your pencil because you're trying to do your work. Let me see that lid right quick. That pencil don't need to be sharp. Well, I like mine to a nice point. It got to be a nice point. I always respond, I will take a dull pencil in sharp work over a sharp pencil in dull work. Which one gonna benefit you more? Sharp work or sharp pencil? Right? So I'm not saying you writing with a broken pencil, but your pencil don't have to have the perfect point on there. Right? Let's get this work done. Let's knock this out. Right? If I got the hand sharpener, I might give it to you. If I don't, let's get this work done. Right? So that's one of my strategies, especially when you're working with young people, is in those heated moments or those moments that they doing something that they don't supposed to be doing, instead of giving a command or a demand, ask a question. Ask them, and ask the question off of what the expectation is. Like, what should you be doing right now? And I have some who be like, I don't know. And I may just ask the whole group, like, what should they be doing right now? And that kid is to say, like, you're supposed to be working on page 42, blah, 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 blah. That's what you should be doing right now. That works for if they sleep, if they, staring in space, when they staring in space, hey, what should you be doing right now? Oh, I need you here, mind and body. Your body here, your mind got to be here too. All right. So, maintenance on the boundaries is really not reacting, but responding, right? That's something that my mom used to always say, like, you know, if you react, you know, you may put yourself in a worse situation. You may compound the situation. If you respond, you have a better chances of maneuvering the situation because a response is taking thought, right? That go along with the emotional knee jerk thing that you do, that you normally do, right? Or that you just do. Um, so maintenance on the boundaries and being aware don't mean assume. And I know I'm gonna circle back to this assumption stuff because this next habit number, well, this first habit that we jumping into is be curious, not critical. And I really love it. I kind of saw the video and I have an idea of what it's talking about. But being curious, not critical, oh man, it can expand in so many ways, and I'm interested to see how many ways I'm gonna be able to tie this into what I'm doing in the classroom. And by no means am I saying I haven't flew off the handle, or I don't fly off the handle, or I don't give strong voice, or I haven't lost it and had to circle back and apologize. Like all these things happen if you're working with young people. All these things happen if you got your own kids. Like all these things happen unless you just lucky, blessed, whatever it is, the teacher gods or the biological gods just gave you a kid or a group of kids, which is highly unlikely that you get, 10, 15, 20 kids who all just do exactly what they supposed to do. And you don't have to maintenance or control or redirect or do nothing. Like maybe one, 10, 20 is highly unlikely, right? It's highly unlikely to get 10, 20 people who all just do what they supposed to do. You just lay out an expectation and everybody just follow the path. Um, so, you know, be aware of when you move it into tension. Manage the tension with skill, right? Manage the tension with skill. Take strategies, techniques, and manage the tension to bring you back to a place of mutual satisfaction. And I love that they say mutual satisfaction. That means that both parties are satisfied, right? Not one person is satisfied and the other person is begrudgingly complying, but both parties are satisfied. This is the art in teaching, right? That this is the art. Like the science of it all, nuts and bolts, people can show you, teach you. You can read a book. I may pull a book that'll teach you some techniques, right? And people say, like, I tried the technique and it didn't work. The art of teaching falls in there is, that you get mutual satisfaction behind the technique, right? Um, I may well I'm not, it won't be May. I will start to do these videos on Fridays instead of every day. Maybe and I because I had a conversation with another podcaster slash social media person, Crafting Her World. That's her name now. I think it's going to change, but Crafting Her World. Me and her had a great conversation yesterday, and I truly appreciate all of the insight. If you haven't checked her page out, you need to go on. She's on Instagram, Crafting Her World. Um, you need anything home design, crafting, thrifting, um, all of those type of things. You want to see what colors match, what like she does all that type of stuff. She can support you in those areas. She can help you brainstorm and get ideas in those areas. So please check her out, Crafting Her World, on Instagram. We had a great conversation, great insight, got some great things coming up the pike for both our pages. Um, you can definitely check me out here, G4G underscore power in your position. You can check me out on Facebook at Jihad EL-AMIN or at G4G power in your position, the group page. You can check me out on YouTube at Jihad EL-AMIN, G4G power in your position. Um, if you want to support this page and support these videos, you can cash at me at $ Mr. E Class. I'll put it in the comments also. If you check me out on the YouTube page, it's on the page, but I definitely will put it in the comments. I do a whole lot of other things over, not just doing the videos, but I mentor young people. Um, Me and my wife actually put young people in our budget. So some young people who maybe not old enough to get a job yet, or just haven't been able to find a job, or whatever, they may need to do work, so then they can come and cut our grass. They come and clean out our garage. We just find different stuff that we could do. I do have videos of us chopping down trees and all that stuff, but just some work to allow kids to be able to earn some money from a hard day work and go spend it on the things that they want to spend it on, the Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams, or saving money to buy a car. Sometimes I do things. I give shirts to the kids who graduate and go into 8th grade. I think I want to add high schoolers in there too. We G4G shirts to everybody who graduated going to the next grade, to the ninth grade, and I want to be able to give some who go into college. Do that every year. Building a fly closet, teach kids how to tie straight ties, teach kids how to tie bow ties. And when you learn how to tie a tie, you not only get to keep the tie, but you also get to keep the shirt. I want to be able to get some jackets, and some slacks and some suspenders and some shoes and all that type of stuff to go along with that. So when you support the page by Cash Apping me, you supporting all of these endeavors, all of these opportunities. I also work with young people, teaching them how to do resumes, teaching them how to do interviews, go on job interviews, um, just preparing them some life skills, right? Some basic life skills. We talk about budgeting, talk about managing your budget, buying cars, how you should go about buying a car. Why should you pay a car note if you're in the space to pay a car note, or if you're not in the space, and then how you go about buying a used car. So then you can expand your ability to earn resources, support yourself, support the family. Um, Want to introduce them to some people who own their own businesses, connect them with some mentors and lanes and spaces that they want to grow in. All of that wonderful stuff. G4G does those things. Actually, also support parents of students and young people I work with. Also, I tutor people to do GED tests, tutor people to take the ASVAB test, all of that stuff. So when you support the page, you are supporting those things. So make sure you check us out. Share this video with some people who either you think will benefit from this video, share it with some people who you feel like could support this project. Shout out to the people who have been supporting this project, and bigger, better things are definitely in the future. And you matter, you are important. Your chromosomes, your biology, your electrons, your neutrons, your DNA, your whole makeup is important to the world, and you exist for a reason. And tap into those reasons, tap into those gifts, enhance those gifts, share them with the rest of the world, and help other people enhance themselves. And if nobody told you today, this week, this month, or this year, I love you, I believe in you, and we out.